Well, hello everybody. Hello. Welcome back. My name is Pelmo Tlhabani. As we're winding down this year, it looks like the court streets are not winding down at all. So this past week, I caught the tail end of a bail hearing of 21-year-old Bafana Mahungela, who is a student at Varsity College and currently being charged with premeditated murder of a 34-year-old teacher and robbery with aggravated circumstances. Honestly, the one thing that really caught my attention with this case was the age of the accused. That is the one thing that really caught my attention, his age. Immediately I was like, how did he find himself here? How did he find himself in this position where he's already being viewed as a danger to women in the community? He's 21. How did he get himself here? Was he high on something? Was he on drugs? What really happened? Well, to just quickly summarize, because I really have not covered this case before, so I would just want to bring you up to speed as I was bringing myself up to speed as well. This 21-year-old boy who is a student at Varsity College, he said he was coming back from a party when he slept in his taxi and then he missed his stop. Then, after realizing that he missed his stop, he jumped off at that point, obviously at the wrong spot, right? But instead of going back straight to rest, he decided he was going to take a detour into Sandton Sporting Club, which is where he said he then came across this rug that he quickly learned that it was covering the body of a woman, this teacher, Kirsten Kluyts, who happened to have been participating in a sporting event on that day. So when he came across this woman's body, he said he then started, he first kicked it to see what was in the rug. Then he discovered that it was a body. Then he started to touch the body to check if there was a pulse or a heartbeat. Brave, right? He started checking all those. Then after doing all that, he concluded that this lady was dead. Instead of screaming for help and trying to alert people, trying to bring as many witnesses as he possibly can to come and see this woman who's lying here dead, according to him. He didn't do that. He then decided, okay, I've been touching this body. Obviously, my handprints are on her. So he decided he was going to just take off this woman's clothes. So he started undressing the woman. He took off all her clothes. He took off her pants. He took off her shoes, her t-shirt, her shirt, her cap. He took off everything. Then he wrapped up all these clothing items with his own t-shirt. He took off his t-shirt and wore the woman's t-shirt. So at this point, I'm like, wait, let's put aside the possibility that he could be guilty, right? He could be guilty of even striking this woman down. I mean, of course, he is innocent until proven guilty. And I do pray that he's innocent, this boy. But where on earth does he get the guts to wrangle with a dead body and take off her clothes from her body, then leaving her indecent? Really? And on top of that, put on her t-shirt and walk away wearing it. What? That is not normal. That's not normal, guys. I mean, where did he get that nerve? Like, I can't imagine spending a minute with a random lifeless body that I just came across, let alone put on a clothing item from that body. No matter how expensive looking or whatever the circumstances, I couldn't imagine picking anything from somebody who's lying there dead and then putting it on my body. Why would he do that? But this boy, he took off this woman's clothes. Then he went and disposed of those in a drain. Yeah, he says he shoved them down the drain. So during his bail hearing, they had put him on the stand. They had put him on the stand and they were interrogating him on the series of events on that day. Honestly, I don't know the law that much, but having followed a couple of high-profile cases and even watching TV, I mean, I didn't feel like that was the best move. I didn't feel like that was the best move. The investigations are still ongoing. The boy sounds a little bit too confident sometimes or a bit arrogant, one of those two. I kept feeling like if he's really innocent, he could possibly say things that will incriminate him. Where was his lawyer when this decision to put him on the stand before the trial was taken? Like, honestly, as a woman, I really do pray that the killer faces the full might of the law, the full might of the law in whatever capacity, because as women, we can't be scared to even cross the street by ourselves in broad daylight for fear of being violated by random people. And at the same time, I really hope that this 21-year-old, I pray that it was a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I pray for that because this would literally change the course of his life. If he were to be found guilty of this and go to prison at this age, yeah. I mean, he was already admitting to some of those things, because he said he was admitting to stealing the woman's clothes. He was already admitting to things. So for me, the decision to put him on the stand so early on, it didn't seem like it was the best decision. I know we just sometimes we just see them on TV, and we might feel like you watch too much TV, but we have seen even the smartest people, when they are facing things like this on TV, they'll be like, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything until I've spoken to my lawyer. And they don't even say a thing. But this child was put on the stand to like literally spill his guts. I'm really hoping that it could be just a case of being at the wrong place at the wrong time and taking some wrong decisions, because it's already not looking very good. During the bail hearing, it came out that a video footage from CCTV, it showed him seemingly following this lady, and within 8 to 9 minutes of that, the victim's phone was picked by another participant of the race. Shortly after, the video showed him leaving wearing the victim's blue t-shirt, not the black one that he wore earlier on. Earlier on, he was wearing a black t-shirt when the video was showing him seemingly following this woman. But when he was leaving, the video showed him wearing a blue t-shirt, which was this woman's t-shirt, carrying a bundle. So I guess that was the clothes that he had wrapped up in his t-shirt. Well, those are the things that he had already admitted to. He said he came across a body, he undressed it, he exchanged t-shirts with the cops, and then he threw the rest down the drain. He then said he didn't have any particular reason whatsoever for wearing the woman's t-shirt. I mean, there has to be something. There has to be something. You don't just exchange clothes with a corpse. Was it because he loved the t-shirt? What was it? What was it? There has to be something. There has to be something. You don't risk incriminating yourself to that extent for nothing. For nothing. You can't and you really can't possibly walk around possibly carrying this woman's spirit with you, and you just didn't have a reason for that. But yeah, the prosecution was saying he probably did that because his own t-shirt probably had blood, or probably had something that could incriminate him, and he wanted to get rid of it, which is something that somebody would think of. It's easy to see how one would think of that. That seemed very self-incriminating. All the actions that he took, they make him look guilty of something. Then when he exited the crime scene, he didn't go to the police. He says he told his caretaker at rest at least 2 days later. Then he told two other students, and then he told his dad, he told his girlfriend of the encounter. But still, none of them brought this to the police. None of them. He feared that he would be implicated, which is very fair. Which is very fair. That's a normal, that's a normal reaction. The police would still have had to do whatever investigations they needed to do, so that they could rule him out of being a suspect. But But I feel like his odds would have been a lot better than what he's currently facing. As for his father and his caretaker, I don't know why they didn't take him to the police. I mean, I'd struggle to sleep at night knowing such information, especially knowing that my child knows this information because, the burden that comes with carrying something that no one else knows and it's like heavy on your soul. Why would you want your child to sleep with that? His defense lawyer implied that the accused took those actions because he was in a state of shock. He was in a state of shock and fear. Yeah, I'm sure that that's very very likely. I mean, who wouldn't be shocked when they come across a dead body? Who wouldn't be shocked? But the normal reaction is not to start undressing the person. The normal reaction is not to start undressing the person and throwing her clothes down the drain and trying to tamper with the crime scene. That's not the normal reaction. The normal reaction would be to scream, to shout for help. You know, not him now spending time with the cops and undressing it and ending up wearing the same clothes. That's not the reaction of a normal person. I'm sure a lot of us we can't imagine exactly what goes on in the mind of somebody who has just encountered a dead body. I'm sure a lot of us can't relate. But he seems to have just made his case worse, getting rid of evidence, tampering with the crime scene, stealing the clothing items from the victim. He just made this a lot worse. If he's indeed innocent, he just made it a lot worse for himself. And why is he acting like he's seen a dead body before? Why is he behaving like he's seen this before? I mean, if you've never seen a dead person, you shouldn't just go to bed for 2 days and then tell somebody else 2 days later. Was he high on drugs? Only somebody who's high on something can behave like that. Or maybe take him to a psych ward because his actions seem a little psychopathic. At 21, somebody shouldn't be acting like he's seen things. Yeah. So, well, his bail hearing was just concluded. The court denied him bail, highlighting that the state had established enough to show premeditation, saying that even in a few minutes, somebody can carry out a premeditated action. So the charge of premeditated murder, it sticks with him for trial. The charge of robbery also sticks. The accused went ahead and stole clothing items from this lady's lifeless body. And the medical report allegedly showed blunt force trauma and bruising to the body. So the charge of aggravated robbery also sticks. So upon denial of bail, the magistrate indicated that the accused poses a danger to society, especially to women in the community, and that the actions of disposing of the victim's clothing was an act of deliberately trying to get rid of evidence. So you see, it's seen as deliberately trying to get rid of evidence which could incriminate him. So the court believed the only reason that he stuck around and didn't run away is because he did believe he got rid of evidence. Yeah. So those charges are sticking. Then they are going to go to trial, which will start on the 19th. On the 19th of January. Let me hear what you think, guys. Personally, this this for me was just a shock. At 21 years and already facing such heavy charges. His life is never going to be the same. His life will never be the same if found guilty of this. His life will never be the same. And his parents, his dad was crying so helplessly in court, so uncontrollably in court. He was crying. I just couldn't imagine, when you have a child and then you thinking the child is at school, one day they just come and this is what they throw on the table. What do you do? I'm hoping that the investigating team can really do a good job to interrogate, especially the CCTV footage. And where were the other participants of the race? Where were they? Where did they leave her? Like, how did this woman end up by herself and immediately being struck down by somebody? Like, after he was seen seemingly following this woman. Does the video show him catching up with her at some point, or is there like a blind spot at some point where the video didn't catch that? Who found the phone? Where did they find it? Was it closer to where the body was found? It's very sad because if it's indeed a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, the decisions that he then took after that, they are making it hard to believe that he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He took some very foul decisions, trying to get rid of evidence, tampering so much with the crime scene. Let me hear what 21-year-old who's already facing a very uncertain future. He did things that make him look guilty. Granted, going around wearing um, a dead woman's t-shirt and stealing her clothing items, it does not prove that he killed that lady. The actions that he took, they don't prove that he killed that lady, of course, but they show that he tampered with the crime scene. He was there at the crime scene. He tampered with it. He was getting rid of evidence. He was doing all of those things that seemed like he was getting rid of things that could implicate him. So there you go, guys. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please do remember to subscribe and remember to like. I'll see you again very soon. I do appreciate your time very much. Thank you. Bye bye.